Churches today are stepping up their level of production, from live stream to cinematic worship experiences. Having the right camera can make a huge difference on how your message is seen and experienced. So if your church is ready and has a budget for it, it's willing to invest in high quality equipment. These are the top 5 Canon cameras that I've managed to put together. So coming at number 1 in our list is the Canon C400. This is a very powerful Canon cinema camera, which also may not be suitable for every church, but if you have the money and you're willing to invest not only on camera but also on your media people, this is the camera that I would recommend. So if I can just go through the specs, first of all, it's a 6K full frame sensor. It has triple base ISO, which is 800, 3200 and 12,800. This is excellent flexibility when it comes to low light. It can record 6K RAW of up to 60 frames per second, can record 4K of up to 120 frames per second, and it can also record 2K of up to 180 frames per second. It has a dynamic range of 15 to 16 stops. It has great autofocus with face, eye and body tracking. Lens mount, of course, it's an RF mount. It can also support EF mounts with a PL adapter. It uses type B cards, and also it has a slot for a normal SD card. It has built-in ND filters of up to 10 stops. So current market price in Kenya, this camera is going for around 817,000 to 990,000. Depending with where you're buying it. So if you have a budget for it, you can buy maybe 3 or 4 bodies and then also get the lens for them. So the first lens that I would recommend for this camera is a wide angle lens of probably, let's say, 24 to 70 f2.8 lens, and then the other option would be a zoom lens of maybe, let's say, 70 to 200. So those are a good selection of lenses that will enable you to cover both wide and close-up shots. Canon C80. This is the camera that I would actually recommend to most churches because it's budget friendly compared to the C400. So my current market price for this camera ranges from 548,000 to 560. Almost similar specs with the C400. So some of the specs include, of course, 6K full frame sensor, back illuminated, of course, similar autofocus. It has triple base ISO like the C400. It can shoot 6K RAW, of course, of up to 60 frames per second. It can shoot 4K DCI UHD of up to 120 FPS. And still, it can also shoot 2K or Full HD up to 180 frames per second. The dynamic range is similar to the C400, still 15 to 16 stops. Dual pixel CMOS autofocus, which can track your eyes, body, and all that. And then it has, of course, similar mounting, the RF, which can also support EF lenses if you choose to adapt. So the next camera in our list is Canon C70. Canon C70 is a very good camera, which is also Netflix approved. The only disadvantage is that it doesn't have SDI port. So that will be the disadvantage. Another disadvantage, depending with how you look at it, is that it's not a full frame camera. It's a Super 35 DGO CMOS sensor. And the good thing is that the dynamic range is still the same as the other cameras of up to 16 stops. And then it has an ISO of 160 to 25,600. which can be expanded to up to 102, but I wouldn't record my videos in 102 ISO. It's not very good in low light as compared to the two cameras that we've talked about. It can shoot 4K DCI up to 60 frames per second, and then it can shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second. It can shoot 2K and Full HD up to 180 frames per second. So the lens, of course, this one is RF, which can still be adapted to EF lens. It has a good autofocus, which is the face and eye tracking. So all of these cameras that I've mentioned, they have ND's filters up to 10 stops. So just know that. So it has also dual mini XLR inputs where you can connect your mics and all that. It has media slots, dual SD cards. Of course, this one doesn't use those other type B cards. So current market price for the Canon C70 in Kenya is around 390 to up to 460 right there. So depending with where you're buying it from, don't quote me on it. And also the price keeps on changing depending with the time that you're watching this video. The price might have gone higher or down, so don't quote me on this one. The next camera in our list is the Canon C50, and if you're going to get this camera, I would recommend you get a V-mount battery. You use it that way because of the battery life that the camera has. The camera, if you are recording continuously, it can give you not more than 2 hours. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking of buying this camera. It can record 7K RAW up to 60 frames per second, and then it can record 4K up to 120 per second. It can also record 2K and 1080 up to 180 frames per second. It has a 7K full frame sensor, which is back illuminated CMOS, and then it has a resolution of 32 megapixel, which is good for stills. This camera, you can still use it to take pictures. Dynamic range, this camera is rated at 15 stops of dynamic range. It has an ISO base of 800 and 6400 with the extended range of up to 102,000. So the autofocus on this camera is still good with face, eye and body tracking. Lens, I would recommend similar lens for this camera as the other recommendation that I've given you from C80, C400. So you can use the same lens on this camera. So if you've gone through the entire list and you feel like these cameras are out of budget for you, don't worry. I'm also going to come up with another video where I'm going to talk about budget-friendly cameras that maybe your church can invest in and still be able to get those good quality. If you're there and you're wondering where are the camcorders in this list, and that's because I generally don't like camcorders. I don't like them. There is only one that I would recommend, which is still within the price range of those cameras that I've given you, and this camera is the Canon XF605. So that's the camera that I would recommend. It's a 4K HDR camera, which still goes for around between 500 to 597,000. So if you really need a camcorder, that will be the one I would recommend for you guys. For now, those are the 5 cameras that I would recommend for churches. So let me know in the comments the camera that your churches are utilizing and using at the moment. I know most churches have invested in these Sony camcorders, and for some it's working well for them, for some probably not. But light is very critical when it comes to video quality. So if you want good quality, make sure you're also lighting your pulpit well, you're also lighting your audience well for you to be able to get good quality. You can get a good camera, but because you have poor lighting in your room, you have poor lighting in your sanctuary, you are not able to utilize the good camera that you have and the good lenses. So make sure you also invest in lighting. Probably you even don't need to upgrade your camera, probably just need to upgrade your lighting, the lighting in your church, and be able to get those quality videos. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Collins. See you on the next one.